What's up everyone, I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, we're going to be talking about ammo, armor, and a few things to know that just might be more important than ammo in Escape from Tarkov. I stream this game a few days a week on Twitch. All my links will be down below. We would absolutely love to have you stop by, say hey, ask questions, or even just hang out for a little bit. But with all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So I wanted to start up a discussion around ammo and Escape from Tarkov and kind of where we are with the game right now, and talk about a few things that could be more important to focus on than just buying the absolute best ammo out there. And those things are map knowledge, positioning, and good aim. But before we talk about those things, I want to talk about where we are with Escape from Tarkov. A really interesting thing is happening right now, and that is, as Battlestate Games has launched the Flea Market and the player-made economy, they've changed a few things to the game. Now, as a caveat, I am not here to say that with the way that they have been doing the flea market and the economy and that stuff is good or bad, that I could make it better or worse, that I have solutions or don't. Yeah, I'm just really talking about like where we are right now and some practices that I think are more important to focus on than just the ammo and just the economy as it stands. But as they've added those things, they have added some limits to how much ammo you can buy. So the things in the trader have a global limit, which means that a trader only has in stock X amount of a certain item. And what they've added is player caps so that each player can only purchase a certain amount of some of these top tier items, and ammo being one of them. So what's happening is right after a reset, you've got as many people as possible buying their share of that ammo immediately, and mere seconds after a trader resets, certain ammos like M995 are sold out immediately and then resold on the flea market for double or triple their value. I mean, I remember when Labs was first introduced and 545 Igolnik was just put into the game. I remember seeing that on the flea market for 700 rubles a round and thinking that was insane. It was by far the most expensive round in the game. And now you've got M995, 10 seconds after a reset going up for 1500 rubles a round. It's a little bit crazy. And when you mix that with the fact that for years now in Escape from Tarkov, the advice, the top tier advice has been use the best ammo, for new players, for players wanting to get better. It's the advice has always just been use the best ammo. And I really think it's important that what I'm trying to say here is not that advice is bad. I actually think that that's great advice. I think whenever possible, you should always be using the best ammo available to you. But you have to consider the finances of that in Escape from Tarkov. If you can't afford to run 90 rounds or 120 rounds of M995 every single raid, then you need to start thinking about what else you can do. And I think that's where the kind of rub is in Tarkov right now, is because of all the years of being told, and I've told every single person that's outside my stream or that I tell about Escape from Tarkov, I say that same thing: use the best ammo, use the best ammo. But now that the player-driven economy is kind of in full swing and Battlestate Games is messing with some stuff, those things might not be viable to purchase. You just might not be able to afford it, or even you can consider, is it even worth running that in all of my mags long term? Because what if I'm killing hatchlings or scavs or level 20s with level 3 armor? That's a lot of money. And because of all the years of us giving that advice, I feel like there's a lot of players out there that think if I'm not running the best ammo, it's not even worth it. Why even run ammo at all? I'll just do a hatch and run or something like that. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. We're in a weird spot. As a caveat to that, they've also made armor a little bit more expensive and harder to come by. So a lot of class 5 armors like Gen 4s aren't purchasable anymore. The ones that are purchasable are very expensive and they often don't repair very well. So they're a little bit harder to come by. You've got a little bit less players running that armor, which makes second or third tier ammos even more viable. But let's even set that aside and say everybody's running Gen 4. I did some numbers in the Battle Buddy app. If you haven't used the Battle Buddy app, it was made by Veritas and a few other content creators. It's an incredible resource. If you like Escape from Tarkov and you've been playing it a lot, it's an amazing app for a ton of resources. It's available on iOS and Android. But one of the things you can do is kind of calculate how good an ammo is versus a specific armor. So using the generally recognized meta armor in the game, Gen 4 Assault, M855A1, which is a 5.56 round, M856A1, which is a 5.56 round, and BT, which is like the third best 5.45 round. All of these are significantly cheaper than their meta counterparts. They're much more available, and they will all shred that Gen 4 down to between 1 and 4 durability in 8 shots or less, which means if you're in full auto and you mag dump, you can miss more than 2 out of every 3 shots and still bring that Gen 4 all the way down to basically nothing, and you're doing damage to them, a lot of damage to them at that point, if they're not dead already. The most common face shield in the game, the most common meta face shield, is the class 3 face shield that connects to the fast MT or the airframe. All 3 of those rounds have over a 96% chance to penetrate that face shield on the first shot. And if it pens, they're dead because all these rounds do more than 35 damage. So I say that to just say and put into perspective how viable some of these second and third tier ammos are of some of these major calibers in the game against this meta armor. And that kind of shifts me back to what we were talking about earlier with map knowledge, positioning, and good aim. So if you've been around my channel or my stream, you know that I'm always focused on what I can do to get better at Escape from Tarkov. And if that's what you want to do is get better at this game, then focusing on the fact that M995 is 1500 a round right now isn't going to change anything. Like that, we can't change that right now. I'm sure Battle State will balance that. And if you kill a guy and he's got mags full M995, you can absolutely run that. And it's going to be the best ammo in the game. But what I can do is I can focus on strategies and things in the game that I can learn that can make me a better player. So if I know that I only need to land 7 shots to center of mass or 1 to 2 shots to the face, then I can say, okay, well, how can I position myself so that I know that I'm getting first shots on an enemy? How can I position myself so I have more information than they do about where they are and where the map, how the map flows and how I can flank them, and how can I practice using offline mode my aim and accuracy so that I can consistently land those headshots. So I know that that kind of sounds like a cop-out, right? It's just like, we'll just play the game more and you'll get better. But once again, I'm always focusing on what I can do better, what I can learn, how can I outmaneuver people. And if you want more proof, I can't recommend highly enough Deadly Slob's stream and YouTube channel. I've been watching him, and these past few weeks, he has been doing a ton of low budget stuff. I saw him spawn into a raid with an AK with no attachments and PP ammo, which is like some of the absolute worst ammo in the game. And he dropped a fully juiced guy and took his like meta M4 Gen 4 and his helmet. He's done shotgun runs. He's done all sorts of stuff, 9mm runs, which a lot of people like to give 9mm crap and say it's not viable end game. And he has used his skills in the game, his knowledge of the game, to be able to outmaneuver and outflank and out-aim his opponents and get some insanely top-tier loot as a reward for that. If you don't follow Deadly Slob, I highly recommend doing that. But you can see that in action. The viability of a weapon is really hard to quantify because it's not just, us just standing face to face, shooting at each other and nobody's moving. There's so much more to that. This isn't Call of Duty where, every engagement starts and ends within 2 seconds. A lot of times you begin an engagement with somebody and that engagement takes time. You both back off. Maybe you're both trying to heal. Maybe you're both trying to flank. Maybe there's 2 or 3 of them and only 1 of you. But focusing on learning the maps really well, learning how to flank and how to maneuver during an engagement, and practicing your aim. Those are things that you can actually grab a hold of, practice, get better at, and then utilize some of these second or third tier ammos, which are honestly pretty phenomenal anyway, and you'll start to shred through your enemies. So once again, in conclusion, this isn't to replace the advice of use the best ammo possible. this is hopefully some encouragement and some things that you can grab onto that go in conjunction with that say, okay, hey, I don't feel like spending 100,000 rubles on 60 rounds or 90 rounds of M995. I'm trying to make money, not spend money. I can use these and I can still be efficient at the game. I can still be effective. And to be honest with you, this is just my opinion. I think that's what Battlestate Games is trying to do with the changes that they're making. I think they're trying to push people into different armors, different ammos, and kind of balance out the game a little bit. Once again, I'm not here to say if they're doing a good job or a bad job, what they're doing is right or wrong, but I think that's what they're trying to do. And I think it's important to know, especially if you're relatively new to the game and you're frustrated because you feel like you can't ever get ahead and make money, that learning, that always grabbing a hold of principles and things that you can actually get better at, things that you can actually kind of track your growth at, grabbing hold of that, focusing on that is always going to end up making you a better player and making you drop more enemies. So thank you all so much for taking the time to check out this video. I hope that this helped. I hoped that this gave you something to chew on, gave you something to think about, and gave you maybe a little bit more confidence to save some of your money, go for some of the lower tier ammos, the second and third tier, and still get out there and start dropping scav bosses, raiders, and players. If you have any questions about this video, or if there's any guides you'd like to see me make here in the future, drop that in a comment down below. If you're new to the game and you have any questions, hop in the Discord. We've got people that are there willing to answer questions, run some raids with you, do all sorts of stuff. Once again, I'd absolutely love to have you stop by the stream. And if you like the video, think about dropping a like or subscribing for more content like this. I'm always trying to create content that helps shorten the learning curve of this game and get you in your raids having fun as soon as possible. So thank you again for stopping by, and we will definitely see y'all on the next one.